Well, I almost have a sneeze, but wait. What's up, guys? So, PR7 is approaching, so I guess it's now a good opportunity to talk about the armaments. And what's the best way to start in this entire video is about dive bombers. And of course, we know there are a wide collection of the dive bombers in this game this far, but there is one faction that have just one variety of workable dive bomber, and that is an Iron Blood Junkers. GU27 version. 87, excuse me. GU87C version. Excuse me. That is a dive bomber that has been dominating in Iron Blood aviation from the beginning, the release of Graf Zeppelin. And from those days, when those planes were released, no new dive bombers been released in Iron Blood. Every other faction got their new and improved and new ones of dive bombers. And what did the Iron Blood get? Fighters with the AP rockets and AG rockets. So the choices to give Iron Blood carriers heavily relies on their new Junker torpedo bomber. But it's just a new torpedo bomber for Iron Blood. GU87D4, so to say. It's just a new Junker. But we heavily need a new dive bombers for the Iron Blood at this point. Every other faction, Eagle Union, Royal Navy, Sakura Empire, those three ones got the new dive bombers. New dive bombers. So hard to speak, excuse me. So what I am doing here is giving the let's just say what's the correct word in English? Not the offering, but the recommendation of the theory of the probably the next evolution of dive bomber to the Iron Blood. Okay. So all these pictures I have got this far are from World of Warships, from aircraft carriers Lovenhart, Graf Zeppelin, August von Parseval, and the Richthofen. All the dive bombers are from those carriers as a recommending these new dive bombers. So let's start with the classic one. GU87C. This is the same one we have been this far. Alright. So what if we can have a upgraded version, better reload, and how you can improve the dive bomber that is already carrying 500 or few hundred kilogram of bombs. I'm not gonna say them in pounds, because I do not use pounds. But for your sake, let's go with that. Let's check in the game. 500 kilogram bomb, that's 1000 pound. And 4 100 pounds, that's 50 kilogram bombs. 4 of them. So basically you just improve firing rate of this old dinosaur. Increase the aviation and make the spread ranges smaller, so that it can hit more accurately towards the enemy. So it won't spread wide. It all goes to the close nearby to the enemy, dealing more damage in smaller sector. So that's the improved version. Nothing new of that. It has been dominating every way, the junkers. Or let's go with nuts with the idea. Let's convert this plane into the HE bomber. Why pike explosive sounds really stupid, but let's be clear. We have insane amount of AP bombers. Every medium and heavy armor ships is getting blasted by armor piercing bombs. And do we have any dive bombers that can actually do some reliable damage against heavy, lower than heavy, against the light and medium ships? So how about we have HE bomb, dealing a explosive damage to the light armor and medium armor, but in return it also hits the battleships like heavy armors. They get fire effect. So that kinda is an improvement of the GU. The old junker. The next candidate I could actually recommend would be from World of Warships' idea of adding the BF 110C model. These could also be dive bombers. If these turns out to be AP bombers, they need to have more accurate drop to the enemies. Okay? So that it doesn't spread. It goes well accurately towards the enemy target. That's basically the same idea. However, if we go with the AG idea, of course, this is a let's just say these are 500 kilogram bombs, 1000 pounds. So these might have slower, but the AP is the same as the regular one, the 500 kilogram. And it doesn't have any smaller ones, some reason whatsoever. but it has smaller sector to hit. So all the damage, it doesn't go spread. It all pinpoints towards the enemy itself, dealing a good amount of damage. That's the AP bomb. But when we go with the HE bomb, I could recommend that it also has the same effect I recommended. It is heavily usable against light armor. It deals medium damage to the medium armor enemies, like heavy cruisers. But those targets with the heavy armor, they will get inflicted by burning damage. And from those burning damage, it will last some above 11 seconds. And you can restart the burning time, but it cannot stack. So you are dealing burning damage to the enemies with the HE bombers. How much? The scaling is beyond my vision currently. But if we want to make this HE bomb working against heavy ships, how about the burning damage is scaled from not just the level of the okay, leveling the plane is not the wise idea. Let's just say a stat the aviation status, not the status, the stat, aviation stat of the carrier. But let's be real here. There are insane carriers in this game that could benefit with the burning damage like this I recommended. Let's just say you have a carrier that can magically reach somewhere. What is the highest stat carrier? And then you can actually raise it well beyond 700. Let me use Wikipedia for a moment. Got carriers, aviation stat. Okay, let's say it this way. Here's the example. If Hakuryu has the highest aviation stat, 453, and the burning damage is scaled from that, the higher you can get that stat, the burning damage is scaled from it by, let's just say, 25%. You don't just make damage to the heavy armor enemies. You are basically burning them alive. So that is a recommendation of the BF 110C. And let's be honest here. From all the Iron Blood, it seems, by the stat wise, August von Parseval has the highest aviation stat. So she could actually benefit from not just the burning, but the HE damage to the medium and light armor enemies. So she could be a menace against those armor types if the BF 110C version gets the HE bomb. But that's just a recommendation. Our next candidate is something I personally despise. But before we go to that, I guess we should actually read the BF 110 history. Or maybe not. That would make this video too long. Our next candidate is a plane developed in 1944. If BF 110 is developed 1937. Introduction. This TA 152 was released 1944. This is the same plane that has been used in Graf Zeppelin late in the war. And I despise that it's not Junkers he got. It's these freaking TA 152 ones. But that's all on my opinion. No need to listen about no need to listen about that. However, this plane is also a dive bomber. We have BF 110 version, and now we have these simple ones. Okay. I'm making this video too late, sorry about my jawing. It's almost 12, middle of the night. So anyway, TA 152. AP bomber or HE bomber? I mean, she could be fast, the planes. And let's just say they are those regular AP bombers. They are fast, but they are ridiculously weak. But thanks to their speed, they can deal damage fast. But because it has been reduced the speed by the amount of damage they can do. So it deals less damage than normal AP bomber. However, in return, it's fast reloading dive bomber. So you are dealing more damage by speed, but in a short run, probably less damage if you have high aviation stats like Haguryou or Yorktown 2. Which one has the better aviation in efficiency? That also matters as a dive bomber. So that might as well affect how this dive bomber works and how much damage they do. Blah blah blah. Let's put that aside. So my recommendation with the TA 152 are fast reloading, less damage, and effective against medium enemies, but weak against light and heavy. So basically she is delivering some kind of 240 kilogram bomb. Below 600 or 700 pound bomb. Accuracy? It's kinda there. But it needs to be effective enough. But that's all I can say about these disastrous planes. Our last candidate is Focke-Wulf FW 190G8 version. And these planes are from Richthofen, from the Tier 10 aircraft carrier. Funny enough, Focke-Wulf FW190, the first flight happened in 1939 and introduction in 1941. And it was retired 1945. So this plane actually had some more action, I hope, compared to the TA 152 version variety. So what can I say about these planes? Well, nickname Worker Schrieke? Shriekers. Interesting name. So these planes can also work. They could be heavily invested towards the fighter bomber, or they can also work as a full-time dive bomber. Yes, these planes were some kind of fighter bombers. But let's focus on dive bombers, alright? Because carriers needs a dive bombers for now. So, FW190. How we can make this one work? Recommendations? Mine ones are very simple. Same speed as the old one, younger. It deals more AP damage. It can also affect some kind of slow status, or just normally. Armor break, we have plenty armor breaks. But something needs to be sacrificed in countering the balance. So it has slower fire rate. Or maybe same as Junker. It has less bombs. But in return, that bomb hits more accurately towards the enemy. And it deals more damage from it. Or we can go with the HE version. It deals more damage to the light enemy and medium enemy. The same amount it does with the enemy battleships, the heavy armor ones. However, Against the heavy, it does less armor damage, but it leaves a burning status. Now I remember the word. It refreshes the timer. It refreshes the timer, making it more effective. So an anti-burning damage is calculated from the aviation stat from the carrier it has been launched. So the damage comes from the burning. But in return it has slower rate of fire. So reloading this plane takes, let's just say, same amount of time than the junker. 1 second faster, but those between. However, these are the recommendations I could actually offer for the new and improved dive bombers to the Iron Blood. Because we heavily need some new dive bombers. It gets frustratingly more and more harder it just needs to be accepted that Iron Blood may not get a new dive bomber for the near future. But I would love to see some new dive bombers. A new damage version, so to say. However, these are my recommendations for now. Thank you so much for watching. And sorry for lack of the videos. There has been some difficulties in my laptop recently. I'm working on it and I have found the problem. It's just the graphic system. It's just dinosaur age. That's the problem. But anyway, thank you so much for watching.